Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be doing a slight unboxing and then going right into the project. I have a brand new mic. I bought it on Amazon. It's a wireless mic. There's the adapter that goes into the bottom of the phone. And mine comes with two mics, because, I don't know, 5 hours. And this is what it looks like. The power button's on the back. Has a little clippy. It turns, depending on whoever you want to put it on, or if you want to put it on a doll or your fingernail, it works. And I tested it out, and it should work throughout this whole video. It has a C-type charger, a C USB charger, so you can put it in your already phone case chargers. You don't have to buy a whole new adapter for it, so it's cool. Anyways, that was just the small part of this video. Today's video is actually going to be me recreating this. I drew this back in 2020 during COVID. The jar that I'm using for this project is this jar here. It was from Lidl and either had biscotti in it or chocolate or caramel candies. And I have two of these. This is going to be the Halloween jar. The next one is going to be a Christmas jar. The tools and stuff that you'll need for this project, just put my art there, is one of these. You can make this yourself. It's for putting pins or toothpicks in, so you can put your clay on it. Toothpicks, UV light thing, shine myself in the eyeballs, aluminum, wire cutters, aluminum pieces, dropped all my other stuff that I needed to have. Little texture rolls, your clay. This is not the color I want. I am going to have to paint it. Some more clay. Your cardboard for your jar and all your areas that you want to do. Wire. Preferably wire that you have extras of. If not, you can easily buy this wire at like a hobby store, or even, I believe, like Lowe's or Home Depot, Walmart. It's like floral wire. But yeah, I use mainly what was in my medicine container for wire. That could be put away now. Some of the pieces I already have done, like for the wire. This was what I came up with first. It's a wire tree. Very painful if you don't wear gloves. I had to boo-boo. This was the first tree. Then I made a second tree because this tree was too tall. It wouldn't work. But I'm not going to get rid of that tree. So I made another tree. And this is what this tree looks like. This tree has glare factor. Of course, you guys can't see it because I have the lights on. That's why I use the UV light. So you can see a little bit of the glow. Some of my ghosts are falling off, which I will glue on later and rebake. So there's that. And then I have all of this stuff. This stuff is for the Halloween jar. It's just stuff that I made over time. like tombstones, pumpkins, bones, skulls, the doors, the window pieces, fencing, jack-o'-lanterns. But first and foremost, we're going to start with the aluminum in the base first. So let me get all these tools out of my way. Out of my chairs. Get all my clay out of my way. Get it all out of my way. So I can start on working my stuff. Aluminum. Or aluminium. This stuff is noisy. Now all you're really doing is just trying to fill up your base here. So when you take your jar and put it in the center here, you're working around it. And making sure everything fits. Also, when you bake it, you take the jar off. It's going to be basically 4 pieces because my oven can't hold all of this in one thing. So I'm going to get to foiling, and I'll bring you back once it's all foiled, and then we'll go from there. Alright, now we have the aluminum done. I put the jar there so I can make sure I'm not gluing inside where I'm supposed to keep the jar. Here is this piece. Glue. I glued mine down, the aluminum, because I'm kind of on a time crunch. So I can show you guys how to do this without doing this in days of recording. So I used hot glue. The thing is, you want to make sure the cardboard don't look like cardboard. So you have to take your aluminum and go around the cardboard, which I have messed up some pieces here. But whatever the aluminum doesn't cover, you're going to just cover up with clay. So once that is the way that you want it, like from where the jar is to, glue all over my fingers, for the aluminum to be where like it fits, you want it a little bit more up here, like a dome or something. Evaluate your aluminum for the rest of your project. Try to image rise the item. Are you happy with the aluminum? Then you're on to the next step for the aluminum piece. But for me, I'm going to start putting the clay on the jar because I want it. So with that, I don't need aluminum all over my desk. So I'm just going to put it down on the floor. Clean up later. Maybe. And we'll start on the jar. So let me put my project over here on the bed. Take out Jeremy. And bolt him down. Put down the Jeremy. Clean up some residue from clay. I'm using gray. And I don't want it to be like super thick. I'm going to drop down to a 5. The other thing that you want to do for this, make sure your oven's ready, is put some clay adhesive or baking bun or glue. And, you know, put it on your dirt. Now I'm going to need me a spatula, because I believe this jar, or this glue adhesive, is being a butt. So I unscrew the lead. I'm going to take my rubber spatula and just do these with it. Scrape off some, apply it somewhere else, scrape off some, apply it somewhere else, scrape off a little bit, apply it to somewhere else, so forth and so forth, until it's all the way around the jar. But I'm going to use Jeremy real quick. I name my stuff. This is Jeremy. Say hello. He needs eyeballs. Nice and smooth clay. I want to touch it with a rusty spoon. If you get the reference, then you know. Only the people that know the reference knows the reference. I'm going to continue to spread this on, and, well, the baking adhesive, and I'll get back to you guys. Going. Alright. Now that we're all glued, minus one spot because my jar can't fit in my oven this way, so I have to put it this way. If your oven is better than mine, good for you. Mine is not. Now we take our clay in a big sheet and we place it on top. Make sure that there's no air bubbles. And we come back all the way around. I'm only doing this because I'm trying to get here and slice off. And carefully peel this off because the clay is going to stick to your other side. Be mindful where you're going to put your door and your window, because once it's baked, it's a pain in the butt to take off. I should know because this is not my first jar that I have created. Then you cut off the excess, peel that off, put the rest of that with your clay. Again, do not have any air bubbles or it will come through when you bake and crack your clay. So I like to rub my jar down. I am going to bring some clay up to here, don't worry, but I am going to take off the clay around here. Because this is where the aluminum sits, or it sits in my aluminum. Now all I have to do is peel that off. Go down and speed around. You either can take your finger or your rag. My case is a paper towel. I wipe down the excess clay adhesive. So there you go. And again, be mindful of where your windows and doors are. Trying to remember. So my door, and it's feathers, and like on my jar picture here, mine is going to be close to there, so I need to. So my door is going to be about right there. And I want my window. These are open, by the way. Right about there, I guess. So take my two pieces, hold them there, then take my X-Acto knife and trace around. Take those off and carefully peel it off. I'm going to go back over, make sure my clay is nice and cut off, and then slowly start peeling upwards. And you're going to want to clean off the glass before you bake. And then take your towel here, clean off the glue to help the clay stick there. Oops. I usually go in a little bit and try to get a nice clean edge in. Nice straight clean edge. So it actually looked like these windows were able to close. Kind of deal. But mine are going to be open. And I'm just trying to get it nice and straight. And then we rub our finger down. Try to get this nice and smooth, like everywhere else on the jar. And I am going to stick these pieces on. In order to do that, I'm going to give myself some things to hold onto the clay here. That was the other thing. I was going to texture. Give me a minute. Let me texture my clay. So y'all can see it too. I just want a settled texture. I don't want like big time textured like my other stuff. Because it's not really supposed to look like stone. It's just to beat up all the flat colors. Well, it's all done. Now I am going to stick this right here. So, and use a little bit of baking bond. As soon as I get this open, do a nice glue line right there. Take my piece, just adjust it the way that I want here. It looks like that. Take a little bit more aluminum. Roll it up, just like I have the other one. Take my piece, figure out where I want this one to go. And take my aluminum, and then this baking bond. Need to go a long way. Let's stick that in. Make sure my aluminum's where it's supposed to be. And then rebake. Just making sure it's where I want it. And like I said, the doors goes here. But I need a space so it can rest on the sheet. So let me bake it and I'll get back. So as that baking, I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit here so I can, work on the next piece. Jump a little bit. Jump, jump, jump. And just going to get Jeremy ready for the next sleeve clay. Let me get Jeremy. Sorry for kicking. I'm turning. Hello, Jeremy. Okay, I'm going to pause because I have nothing basically to say. So, alright, jar's out of the oven. I did put the door on and I had to refix this because it fell off. It's still very hot. But as you can see, I have built up a little bit more on the aluminum. And I figured out where I was going to put my tree. So I built up a little bit more on the back here. Now that, with that said, I'm going to put some more gray up around this domey type of part of the glass and put it back in the oven. And then we'll start up on the base, putting the brown down and all the little knicky-knacks. And then we'll start on the lid. So for right now, I am going to work on this, the gray part, get it in the oven, and then we'll work on this while this is baking. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, now we're back onto doing the base. I have put the jar here. It's still a little warm. All the gray is now in place, as you can all see. I have made bump outs for the tree. The tree is pulling down. And I have to get that out of the oven so it can cool down faster. Tree. I did the roots. That's why it was in the oven. So when I set it on here, when I put the dirt down, I can mark where the roots are. That the tree will go. And then peel off the tree in the jar and then put this in the oven. So right now I'm waiting for the tree to dry. Let me get this out the way, the jar. And now let's put this on a skinnier setting. Because I don't have a lot of this. Yeah, that looks good enough. This was the same color as the tree. Just I've added the gray that was from the jar into it. Because I wanted to make sure I had enough to cover the whole base. If I don't, then I will have to use paint because I don't have enough clay. So I'm trying to not have that problem. And because of the aluminum foil being so crumbled uppy, it should be able to grab, the clay should be able to grab onto the aluminum foil. Let me move Jeremy out of the way so I can zoom you guys in. Thank you for your assistance, Jeremy. Ah, I kicked you. My bad. I will be painting the inside of this. So I'm not too worried about getting clay down in there. But I am worried about getting air bubbles. So there's that. Okay. And then we're schmoozed it all in there. This is basically what I'm going to be doing for like the whole base. And once the whole base is covered, I'll bring it back in. Be back. Alright. Ground is done. Well, it's not done. It hasn't been baked yet. But I am marking out where the tree goes right now. So I know once it's baked, I could still be able to put my tree on. Because the tree can't go into the oven, unfortunately. While it's on the base. So I have to mark it out, figure out how's it laying. Do I need to add anything? That kind of stuff. Now that's set, I still have to put the ghost on. They fell off. But then again, there was nothing really holding them on. So now we're going to do the placing of everything. So when I bake it, I don't have to worry about it. Just trying to figure out where I want everything. I think I want my pumpkin there. Just like in my photo. Then add my little bones. For the pathway. And if I don't use all my items that I have already baked, including these bones, I'll use them in another project. So there's those. Let me put the rest of these bones down and I'll jump to when I put this skulls in. Alright, now we're on to putting in the skulls. Which are down here. you find a problem with when you do this project, or do something similar to this, and your items don't stay in, hot glue it. Because I have sometimes had that problem where sometimes they don't want to stay in. Looks hideous. Cool. And now we're done with all the skulls. Now I have to figure out, do I want the graveyards to still be over here and the pumpkin patch to be over here? Not really putting these in hard like I did with the skulls. I'm trying to figure out which ones I like, which side I like better for the certain things. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it the way that I have it on the photo. Pumpkins go over here in the pumpkin patch. Tombstones go over there. In order to keep the tombstones in, because the ground is not well great, baking adhesive. And I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'm going to show you before I bake it and what it looks like after. Alright, we're ready to bake. I have finished what I was going to do. I took off the tree, but here we are, showing you like a preview before bake. Gray kitty, white kitty, pathway, black kitty, and all my little pumpkins. So now I'm going to ready to bake, and then we're going to start working on the witch's hat. So let me get to doing that, and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm trying to figure out how to do the hat. The hat is going to be very much covering this much of the base, but I'm trying to figure out what's a good hat ratio, like the rim of the hat. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go in a little bit more here? And I think I do. So it'll look something like that. Still trying to figure all this out. It's going to take a big hunk of this part off. It's just so when you open the jar, You should only see this much and the gray, but trying to figure it out. I wonder if I took off too much of the cardboard that I cut it out from. There's a whole bunch of details, trying to figure out everything. Those two will be put together. Where's my tape? Tab. Sorry I shook the camera thingy again. New tarp. Tape there. Tape on the other side. Because you have to imagine the hat goes up and then it has a swoop. So, and I'm going to have a bunch of these. And it's going to be filled with aluminum inside to make the hat piece. Because I don't want to make the hat piece all in one clay, because then it'll be extremely heavy. That's why you make things lighter. So I have to figure out how I want to do this hat. So I'm going to cut out more of these, this pattern here, and then figure out how to put it together. And I'll be back. Alright, this is what I have so far, and it is going to be a 2-part series because it's already almost 8 o'clock my time. But here we are. It's all baked. Got all the stuff. And just so got an idea for the trees. Trees there. I'm going to have to glue on the ghost in the next part, along with figuring out how to do the lid, the witch hat. I don't have time now because I'm getting hungry for one and I'm getting shaky. And, well, this is what I have so far. So in the next part, I'm going to be working on the hat, finalizing this stuff, and getting everything covered, glayed. I may have gone too big with the hat. Maybe. Because so far only the lid can, this right here, can go in the oven. And that's not good because I still have the fold